OK，好，咁我開始今晚嘅 Zoom 噶啦，咁咧就好歡迎大家啦。咁其實我哋逢禮拜四晚咧，我都會同大家咧去做分享嘅。咁今晚咧就會同大家咧就係去分享呢個Lifewave 嘅其中一個光療貼片，就係能量貼片啦。咁我希望應該大家係聽得到啊，因為我見大家未有咩反應，不過我就照開始啦喎。OK，咁首先咧，我就先介紹一下自己啦。咁其實我相信而家喺會議室入邊嘅朋友咧，都認識我噶啦。我叫 Stephen。咁其實我就係2021年6月11號咧正式加入 Lifewave 嘅。咁去到而家已經係即係1年8個月左右啦。啊，咁所以就都由2021年開始6月開始我都係已經有用緊 Lifewave 啦，咁去到而家啦，咁其實亦都真係親身見證過好多好多朋友咧，透過係用 Lifewave 嘅貼片咧，去改善到佢身體嘅健康嘅。咁所以咧今日咧就都希望同大家分享其中 Lifewave 一個我自己其實越嚟越中意嘅一款貼片，就係能量貼片啦。咁咧先重溫一下咧，之前咧我哋好幾次喺線上邊去分享嘅內容啦。咁其實咧最主要咧，我哋要明白就係話咧，原來咧我哋身體細胞去溝通嘅語言咧就係光喎。咁即係話等於好似我而家同大家嘅溝通嘅時候就係用廣東話啦。咁如果我用其他外國嘅語言去同大家溝通嘅話咧，我相信大家對於我去分享嘅內容嘅理解度咧，一定會減低咗嘅。例如我而家用印度話或者用其他外國嘅語言去同大家溝通都好啦，咁一定咧大家係冇咁容易去接收到啊。咁所以咧，其實點解 Lifewave 嘅貼片佢可以就係話係做到咁直接、咁有效、咁快速去做到個效果咧？因為咧 Lifewave貼片佢本身個原理咧，就係用翻細胞自己本身溝通嘅嗰個語言啊，就係光啦。咁我哋之前有分享過，就係 X39，佢產生到出嚟嘅光係可以增加我哋身體嘅幹細胞啦，可以幫助我哋修復基因啦，全面提升我哋嘅修復力啦。咁另外咧，跟住就同大家分享過 X49就係可以做到嘅功效係幫助我哋改善腦部啦、血管啦、骨骼啦，甚至乎可以幫助到生髮啦、防輻射等等啦。咁另外咧，Eon 咧，啱啱我哋上個禮拜就同大家分享咗 Eon 啦。Eon 咧就可以幫助我哋做到主要三大嘅功效。第一就係消炎，第二就係減壓，第三就係提升呢個 SOD，即係提升我哋身體抗氧化嘅功能啊。咁今日咧就會同大家分享咧能量貼片嘅喎。咁其實能量貼片咧都係最近期我都係去介紹俾好多一啲用緊嘅用緊 Lifewave 嘅朋友又好啦，又或者新開始去使用 Lifewave 貼片嘅朋友都好啦，我都好積極好多踴躍去推薦呢個產品，因為真係一個非常好嘅產品嚟嘅。咁如果講翻咧 Lifewave 嘅貼片嘅歷史咁其實咧原來咧第一款阿 David 發明嘅貼片咧就係 Energy Enhancer，即係我哋今日分享嘅 Lifewave 嘅能量貼片咧，就喺2004年去發明出嚟嘅。咁其實咧 Lifewave 呢間公司咧喺2002年去成立啦。咁阿 David 咧用咗2年時間去研發咗呢個能量貼片啦。咁所以咧，其實一講到能量貼片嘅話咧，其實就即係不得不提，其實關於 Lifewave 嘅歷史啊。咁所以咧喺呢度咧就同大家去俾翻一個關於 Lifewave 歷史一個短片俾大家去可以睇翻啦。咁我相信可能有啲朋友都未必睇過嘅，咁所以咧都可以從而去了解多啲 Lifewave 嘅一啲背景啦。
Lifewave. Today, this global force for good spans 100 countries with hundreds of thousands of delighted fans. With offices in the US, Ireland, and Taiwan, Lifewave has over 30,000 square feet of manufacturing space and supports customers in over 20 languages. With a solid commitment to research and continued exposure in the news media worldwide, the Lifewave brand is a recognized force in the health and wellness movement. World-class athletes in every sport use and endorse Lifewave technology as a means of achieving peak performance without the use of drugs or stimulants. Health advocates like Suzanne Summers and everyday people from all walks of life have found Lifewave vital to enjoying improved energy, better sleep, reduced pain, and more youthful vibrancy. Where did it all begin?
I remember when I was 8 years old, my parents took me down to the workshop of Thomas Edison. So when I got home that afternoon, I told my father that I wanted to be an inventor when I grew up. And my dad said to me, well, there's no such job. You can't be an inventor. And I said, well, why not? He said, well, you just can't. And, that's a joke that we have between the two of us that we still laugh about to this day.
Lifewave founder and CEO David Schmidt began his career in medical device design and manufacturing. In 1996, he moved to Atlanta, where he returned to his passion for inventing by joining an inventors club, winning numerous awards, and eventually forming a company based on one of his inventions.
One day I was giving a presentation for a government contractor, and they invited me to be part of a design team for one of the Navy's next generation mini subs. So we were trying to find a way to keep people alive longer. And I thought, well, I personally object to this whole idea of using caffeine and stimulants to stay awake. So maybe there's a new way that we could approach this. So I worked on this for several years and developed the Lifewave prototypes. The problem was that we had just gone through 9/11, and the US military was interested in weapons, not survival equipment. And it normally takes over 7 years to get a new product through the Navy. So I decided, well, I know that consumers are really going to love the technology that improves energy without having to use stimulants. So that's why I decided to go to the public with it.
And with those patch prototypes, David found his calling, and by summer of 2002, he launched the Lifewave company.
That first year of Lifewave was pretty rough. I remember I didn't get a lot of sleep. A very typical day for me was getting up at 6 a.m, going about my day, doing work, phoning acupuncturists, medical doctors, athletes, personal trainers, working all day doing that, and then getting up late at night to make patches because we didn't have a patch manufacturing facility. And along the way, met one person that was interested in investing money. And he said, well, I don't really know much about science or medicine. Could I have a medical doctor review this? And I said, sure. And as it turned out, that was Dr. Steve Baltimore.
I spent about 4 hours or longer interviewing him, and then came back a few days later and talked to him again. And so we had about 6 hours worth of conversation over a few days. Every question I asked, he answered. And I asked him very detailed scientific questions. So I realized this man actually knew what he was talking about. So I was very impressed. And I wrote a paper that was my way of explaining the technology from more of a biological point of view. And I sent this paper to a number of friends that are in medicine to get a review. And one of them was Dr. Carl Merritt out in California. And he shared it with Coach Richard Quick at Stanford. He was a coach of the Stanford women's swim team.
So one day, sitting in my home office in Atlanta, Georgia, and I get a call, and the voice at the other end of the phone says, David, this is Richard Quick. And then he tells me that he's been using the Lifewave patches in conjunction with Dr. Merritt. And he found that during the first 3 weeks of using the patches with his athletes, that 6 out of the 8 swimmers broke their personal lifetime best in their event. So this was absolutely huge. This was one of the breaks that I had been looking for.
That which seems extraordinary today will be commonplace in the future. If something can be done in 20 or 30 years in the future, why can't we do it today? That's what David Schmidt has done with Lifewave.
We got an opportunity to have our product on Olympic athletes. We got to have world exposure of the technology by having the athletes compete in the Olympic Games and in the Olympic trials. And I am very grateful to Coach Quick for that opportunity.
At the Olympic trials in 2004, a scandal erupted. The Stanford swimmers were doing so well that some of the other coaches accused them of using performance-enhancing drugs in the patches.
I met before the U.S. Olympic Committee and had to explain how the patches worked. They took the patches down to UCLA Microanalytical Lab, had the patches examined, and found out there weren't any drugs in them. The athletes drug tested negative, so they were completely clean. And we started to make national headlines because people wanted to know what were these patches and why were the Stanford women's swim team using them and doing so well.
This is a product that will really help people. It'll help people have more energy. It'll help them focus better so they can be more successful in whatever their endeavors are.
I had looked into many ways of marketing the patches, including infomercial marketing, doing it at retail, and ultimately I settled on network marketing for a lot of really great reasons. Our first month in business as a network marketing company was November of 2004, and if you can imagine the circumstances, we started off with 1,000 distributors and $500,000 in sales that very first month. It was a remarkable achievement, and we went up from there.
This immediate growth prompted the need for a skilled Lifewave management team.
So I thought, if we really want to become a successful company, we need someone with experience. We need someone that's been in this position before. And my prayers were answered in November of 2005 when Mike Collins came on board.
Enter Mike Collins, formerly of Procter & Gamble and vice president of PepsiCo.
Well, I was introduced to David Schmidt and Lifewave by a mutual friend who happened to be a Lifewave distributor, and he gave me some energy enhancer patches to try. I had a great response to it, something I've never felt before, a clarity of mind and sense of well-being. So when David and I got together and talked it over, I said to him, David, please, I don't care what position you have in mind, put me in the batter's box and let me start swinging, because this is just fantastic.
As the core business grew throughout the US and Canada, the wisdom of particular founding sales leaders proved pivotal.
So I went back to a lot of these people that I had met along the way. George Hoagland, David Jumper, John Chance, Chuck Michael. And we started to form a United States advisory board, a North American advisory board. And these leaders just did a tremendous job in that first year supporting growth. And I really owe them a lot for that.
At the end of 2005, Lifewave hit $17 million in sales and held a national conference featuring 40 speakers. Professional and Olympic athletes talked about using Lifewave patches to become the best in the world. Other presenters included medical doctors, acupuncturists, naturopaths, scientists, even world-famous biophysicist Beverly Rubik, also known as the mother of energy medicine.
I'm a biophysicist. I've traveled the world looking for maverick wellness products that make a difference in people's lives. And it came to my attention that there was this Lifewave energy patch. The first thing I wanted to do as a biophysicist was to test them on the human energy field. And that is the state of the art now in biophysics, that this field is considered to be the bottom line regulator of our processes. Here's an example of the data. The red indicates points that were tested that are really unbalanced. The yellow are points that are tolerable within normal, but not quite normal. And the green, of course, are the most normal. Some 5 meridians are grossly unbalanced. And after wearing the Lifewave patches, only 1 point is unbalanced. That's an impressive result, especially after immediately placing on the patches.
There was an immediate autonomic nervous system response within 5 minutes. This is what happens when we apply the patches. As you see, there's a pretty hot looking back to the left, and there's a patch distinctly sitting right in the middle of that spine. It has a cooling effect on the autonomic nervous system.
Statistically speaking, we can prove that energy production is enhanced fairly dramatically by these patches. I've been doing this kind of testing now for almost 8 years, and I can tell you, you don't see these kind of results.
We tested the Lifewave product and we found that it made a significant change within 10 seconds in the cytoskeleton. Let me tell you, that is profound.
There are a lot of products out there, folks, but there are very few companies who support their products with quality science.
Having clinical studies is a matter of ethics. You have to know what effects your products are going to have on people before they actually use them. And it's a legal requirement. The government wants to see clinical studies, scientific proof that substantiate your claims.
We look for independent researchers with universities that can study our technology. We're driven to prove the benefits of this technology, as well as to show how this technology can be used to help the people around the world.
Lifewave.
好啦，咁所以咧，其實如果大家，我唔知大家有冇睇過剛才嘅影片啊，咁其實咧，即係我自己其中我都好欣賞 Lifewave 嘅，就係話佢嘅所有貼片咧，全部都係有晒呢個臨床驗證報告去證實佢嘅功效嘅。咁所以咧，今日咧分享到呢個Lifewave嘅能量貼片嘅時候咧，咁我去呢幾日都揾咗好多資料啦。咁原來發覺咧淨係單呢個能量貼片啊，佢都已經有17份嘅臨床報告驗證㗎啦。咁啊，證實佢唔同方面對於人體嘅好處啦，或者功效啦。咁所以咧，今日咧就會逐一同大家去簡單地去講一講每一個呢個臨床驗證報告嘅嗰個資料俾大家認識嘅。俾大家知道嘅，咁咧大家都可以其實去翻 Lifewave 嘅網站嗰度咧，去 download 翻去下載翻呢一份關於 Energy Enhancer 即係能量貼片嘅一個所有關於能量貼片上面嘅臨床報告嘅一個summary 啦。咁好啦，咁所以咧今日我就會用呢一份嘅資料咧，同大家去分享翻嘅。咁其中咧。第一個研究咧就關於係一個紅外線嘅研究啊，關於個人體體溫嘅一個研究啦。咁首先咧喺呢份報告嚟講咧，佢就會講到就話喺呢個臨床報告或者呢個測試入邊咧係冇任何呢啲不良嘅事件去報告出嚟啦。好啦。咁而咧，大家會睇到啦，喺呢個嘅資料上面咧，呢份報告上面咧，佢就話顯示到咧，呢個 Energy Enhancer 咧，佢可以見得到咧，當呢個人咧用咗呢個能量貼片嘅時候咧，佢會係做到一個降溫嘅功效嘅。咁喺一個圓圈嘅位置咧，大家唔知見唔見到啦？呢個圓圈嘅位置上面其實就係講緊嗰個能量貼片貼嘅位置啦。咁而即係大家見到呢啲都係能量貼片貼咗嘅位置啦。咁咧佢發覺咧就係喺個測試上面咧，原來咧喺呢個嘅自主神經系統就發生咗一個好大嘅改變啦。咁咧個結果咧就係講到咧，大部分嘅參與者都係喺5分鐘之內咧，佢個體溫咧就產生咗變化嘅。係啲咩變化咧？咁最主要我哋都係睇呢個啦，嗰個結論就係話咧，呢個能量貼片可以咧喺5分鐘之內咧，令到我哋身體嘅入邊嘅體溫咧同炎症去降低嘅。因為好多人咧，如果體內咧有啲慢性嘅發炎嘅情況咧，都會令到嗰個入邊嘅溫度升溫啦。咁所以咧喺呢個研究顯示咧，就話原來咧 Energy Enhancer 咧係可以短喺5分鐘之內咧，令到我哋身體入邊嘅嗰個炎症降低啦。咁亦都咧呢項嘅研究咧就係證實咗咧 Energy Enhancer 呢個能量貼片咧係對於我哋嘅自律神經系統嘅反應咧可以有幫助嘅。咁其實上一次咧我哋都有分享到，Eon都其實可以幫助到呢個改善我哋嘅自律神經系統啦。咁自律神經系統其實對我哋身體咧都係好大嘅一個即係影響嘅。咁所以咧原來能量貼片都可以幫到手喎。好啦，咁第二個研究咧就係講緊呢一個叫做 HRV 啦嘅一個叫心率 變異分析嘅一個研究啦。咁呢個心率變異分析咧係咩嘅一回事咧？咁原來呢個心率變異分析咧，其實咧就係愛嚟咧係分析我哋自己身體嘅自律神經平衡嘅狀態。咁而呢個自律神經平衡嘅狀態對於我哋身體有啲乜嘢嘅重要性咧？原來咧呢個自律神經系統嘅調控啊，同我哋好多關於心血管疾病都有關係喎。例如呢個猝死啊，即係呢個心因性猝死啦、高血壓啊、出血性嘅休克啊、敗血性嘅休克等等啊，即係都係同呢個自律神經系統有關係喎。咁而咧，原來我哋能夠用呢個心率變異嘅分析咧，去分析我哋自己嘅自律神經系統嘅平衡狀態嘅喎。咁所以咧，喺第二個研究入邊咧，佢就發覺咧，原來咧用咗呢個能量貼片之後咧，不論喺休息嘅時候咧，或者係運動完之後嘅5分鐘咧，呢個能量貼片咧都可以幫助到我哋嗰個心率啊嘅放鬆嘅喎。咁呢個咧係一個非常之理想嘅效果啦。呢個報告寫到啦。咁因為咧喺呢個休息嘅期間咧，可以對我哋嘅交感神經嘅平衡具有放鬆嘅效果啦，同埋咧喺運動緊嘅時間咧，亦都可以增強我哋嘅活動效果嘅喎。咁所以咧，證明呢個能量貼片咧對呢個 HRV 咧有明顯清晰嘅功效啦。好啦，咁喺第3個研究同第4個研究咧，其實都係關於呢個 HRV 嘅，咁所以我就唔會再詳細每一個講啦。咁其實都係講緊呢個能量貼片咧，對於我哋身體嘅 HRV 咧係會有幫助嘅。咁即係話咧可以幫助到我哋嗰個自律神經嘅系統啦。好啦，去到第5個嘅研究報告啦。呢個第5個研究報告咧就係關於線粒體嘅。咁我唔知大家有冇聽過線粒體啦。我相信應該如果有接觸過開健康方面嘅朋友咧，都會有即係聽過線粒體呢個名詞啦。咁呢個研究咧，其實就係講緊咧，關於究竟能量貼片對於我哋身體嘅線粒體會唔會有一個嘅影響啦。咁喺呢個報告嚟講咧，亦都講到就係冇任何嘅不良報告係去 report 翻啦。好，咁講到線粒體咧，咁其實線粒體係啲咩咧？原來咧線粒體咧係好重要嘅，係響講緊咧，我哋喺每一個細胞入邊都有線粒體啦。咁而線粒體咧，其實就係幫助我哋個細胞咧，其中一個好重要嘅功能咧，就係合成一個叫 ATP 啊，叫三磷酸腺苷啊嘅一個地方嚟嘅。咁有啲人就係俗稱佢係叫做細胞嘅發電站啊，即係話我哋嘅細胞需要到能量嘅話咧，其實就需要到線粒體而製造呢個 ATP。ATP 咧亦都係講緊係一個我哋細胞能量嘅一個單位啦。咁所以咧，我哋身體嘅每一個細胞夠唔夠能量咧，其實就好重要，係視乎我哋每個細胞入邊嘅線粒體健唔健康啦，同埋佢能唔能夠產生到足夠嘅 ATP 俾我哋啦。咁以下咧，其實係一個短片咧，就係講解我哋細胞入邊呢個線粒體究竟佢點樣幫助到我哋去產生個能量啦。
In reality, energy comes from the mitochondria. Yes, the world famous powerhouse of cells. Mitochondria are amazing and cool. They're found in plants, animals, fungi, protists, and any other eukaryotes. They can change shape quickly and move around the cell. When cells need more energy, the mitochondria can reproduce by growing larger and dividing. For example, say you want to get in shape. As you exercise more, the mitochondria in your muscles will increase in number and navigate to the edges of the cell. This allows these muscles to have more energy. If the cell needs less energy, some mitochondria will die. Mitochondria are very similar to some bacteria. For this reason, some scientists think they may originally been bacteria that were absorbed by more complex cells. This theory is called endosymbiosis. During cellular respiration, with the help of oxygen, the mitochondria produces 25 ATP. Compare this to only 3 APT produced by glycolysis in the cytoplasm. Thus, the title, the powerhouse of the cell. But why is this a big deal? In order to do something like this, ATP is required. But how does this ATP help? To carry out life processes, ATP continuously is broken down into ADP, like a rechargeable battery. And this releases a huge amount of energy, which is used by the cell in several metabolic processes, as well in building micromolecules such as proteins. ATP is critical for the contraction of muscle. ATP supplies the energy to move the muscle protein. ATP is essential for certain pumps like the sodium-potassium pump and the calcium pump. Sodium-potassium pump ensures that our cells have the correct amount of sodium and potassium, which is essential to stay alive. The adenosine from ATP is a building block of RNA and is directly added to RNA molecules. During transcription, DNA is copied to messenger RNA, which carries the information needed to make proteins. No proteins, no life. So the next time you do any of this, you can think the amazing and cool mitochondria. You know, the powerhouse of the cell.
好啦，咁所以咧，大家就可以真係好好記住呢個線粒體呢個名詞啦。咁所以當一講到能量嘅時候咧，其實就一定係牽涉到我哋嘅細胞入邊嘅線粒體啦，同埋線粒體最主要其中一個功效咧，就係幫助我哋身體產生呢個能量嘅單位就叫 ATP 啦。好啦，咁講翻頭先呢個關於能量貼片嘅一個研究啦。咁呢個研究咧，其實講緊咧就係話咧，佢發現咧呢個能量貼片當貼咗響呢個測試者上面身體嘅時候咧，佢哋身體能夠咧產生最大嘅有氧嘅 ATP。咁其實講緊咩叫有氧咧？因為其實我哋身體產生能量有分有氧同埋無氧啦。咁有氧嘅 ATP 係當然係健康啦，而無氧嘅產生出嚟嘅能量當然係唔健康啦。咁所以我哋盡量能夠係可以產生一啲有氧嘅而產生出嚟嘅 ATP 啦。咁亦都咧呢個報告咧亦都講緊咧就係對於我哋身體嘅脂肪酸代謝咧都可以增加嘅喎。如果用到能量貼片之後，咁亦都講緊就算唔喐動嘅時候靜止嘅時候咧，嗰個 ATP 咧都有好大嘅幫助嘅，對於即係個能量貼片對於我哋產生嘅 ATP。咁所以咧喺個結果上面咧就講緊咧，原來呢個能量貼片咧可以好明顯對於我哋新陳代謝去幫助到啦。咁亦都咧係最主要就係話呢個研究報告咧證實咗咧，能量貼片係可以做到咧，直接影響我哋產生令到我哋嗰個線粒體影響到我哋線粒體嘅功效啦，個功能啦，即係話令到我哋個線粒體個功能更加提升咗啦，咁變咗就可以增加更加多嘅 ATP 啦，就係我哋細胞嘅能量啦。好啦，咁去到第6個研究啦，咁呢個研究咧就係講緊咧我哋經絡皮膚嘅導電率喎，佢就睇下究竟呢個能量貼片可唔可以能夠提升到我哋身體經絡嘅導電率咧咁樣。咁喺呢個研究報告入邊講緊咧就係話咧經過呢個用咗呢個能量貼片之後咧，佢發覺咧就係咧嗰個結論就係話咧，能量貼片係可以令到我哋嗰個經絡嗰個能量嘅流動咧係增加嘅。咁即係咩意思咧？其實講緊就係話原來透過用個能量貼片咧係可以幫助到我哋嗰個血氣我哋個經絡嗰個疏通係幫助到嘅。 好啦，咁去到第7個研究啦，就係講緊呢個人體嘅針灸經絡同埋生物光子發射嘅影響啦。咁喺呢個報告入邊咧，佢發覺咧就係話咧，當用咗呢個能量貼片喺呢個腳板底嘅時候啊，咁咧佢可以幫助到咧我哋嗰個右手啊嘅手掌嘅生物光子發射減少喎。咁呢個生物光子發射嘅減少咧，其實就可以理解為咧，我哋身體嗰個狀態咧更加健康嘅一個轉變嚟嘅。咁另外咧，佢亦都講到就話講緊關於一啲能量上邊或者交感神經上邊嘅改變啦。咁原來咧佢發覺咧用咗一個能量貼片之後咧，嗰個key 能量啊或者交感神經系統同埋免疫系統嘅活動咧係傾向咧會移到去我哋身體嘅下半部喎。咁即係話咩意思咧？佢就係話講緊咧我哋嗰個免疫系統嘅嗰個活動啊，就會令到我哋身體整個身體嗰個免疫系統咧增強咗，應該簡單嚟講。咁所以呢個都係一個非常之好嘅一個結果啦。原來就係透過用能量貼片都可以提升我哋嘅免疫系統啦。咁亦都咧發覺咧就係話，原來當用緊呢個能量貼片嘅時候咧，我哋嗰個經絡系統會發生能量嘅變化啦。好啦，咁去到第8個研究啦，咁啊講緊關於一啲能量上面嘅研究啦。咁咧呢個研究咧好簡單，就係話講緊咧，佢個結論就係話咧，能量貼片咧可以增加我哋身體脂肪燃燒，而從而提升更加多嘅能量嘅喎。咁即係話咧，證明到呢個能量貼片真係可以幫助到我哋提升嗰個能量啦。咁啊，去到第9個研究啦，呢個研究咧就講緊關於對人體健康對一啲健康嘅人去做一個研究，就話究竟能量貼片對呢啲健康嘅人佢個力量啊、耐力啊、平衡方面有冇功效咧？咁咧，佢喺呢個報告入邊發覺咧，對於講緊呢啲嘅健康嘅人啊，用咗能量貼片之後咧，佢哋所有關於嗰個柔韌度啊、力量啊同埋講緊佢嗰個耐力上面咧，都係有明顯嘅提升嘅。咁大家可以喺呢度見到就係啦，呢個報告上面。咁所以其實如果大家對於呢啲嘅臨床報告真係有興趣嘅話咧，真係可以都上翻公司個網站咧，去將呢啲嘅臨床報告咧下載落嚟咧去睇翻嘅。咁我覺得係非常之好嘅，因為咧，如果能夠我哋自己用到嘅一個產品係有咁多即係科學嘅驗證啦，咁對於我哋去用呢個產品係更加有信心啦，亦都變相就係話我哋去介紹俾身邊嘅朋友嘅時候咧，我哋亦都更加去安心去分享俾身邊啲朋友，因為真係好多好多嘅驗證係證實咗個產品真係有佢個功效喺度。好啦，講到去到第10個嘅研究啦，咁呢個研究咧，其實都係講緊關於一啲柔韌性啦、力量同耐力嘅。咁當然啦，佢亦都係個結論就係話係可以幫助能量貼片係可以幫助我哋嘅柔韌性啦、力量啦同埋耐力嘅。咁咧，甚至乎咧，係公司係有應該咁講咧，有一啲嘅專家咧係將能量貼片咧去應用喺馬上邊喎。咁啊，睇下究竟喺馬上邊用呢個能量貼片會唔會有得到一個效果咧？咁最終一個結論咧，佢個評估就係話咧，透過一啲嘅針灸技術人員，佢將呢個能量貼片貼咗喺個馬上面嘅時候咧，佢哋發覺咧，呢個馬背脊嘅痛楚咧，都係得到呢個舒緩嘅。咁即係話唔止人可以有個功效啦，馬都可以用到，即係可以透過用到呢個能量貼片用到功效啦。好啦，咁另外咧，去到第14個研究咧，就佢講到咧，係講緊咧 用一個電子五線分析系統啊，去睇翻呢個能量貼片對於我哋人體會唔會產生一啲長期嘅影響咧？有啲咩影響咧？咁咧佢最終嘅結論咧就係話咧，原來發覺咧呢個能量貼片啊可以令到我哋經絡入邊嘅能量水平增加嘅喎。咁簡單啲嚟講，即係話我哋身體嗰個能量流係增加咗啦。好啦，咁去到呢個研究咧，就講緊呢個能量貼片對於人體嘅經絡啦，佢嘅生物光子發射同埋心率變異率嘅影響啦，即係頭先我哋啱啱開始亦都講到呢個 HRV 嗰個心率變異率嘅影響啦。咁喺呢個研究入邊咧，佢都係嗰個結論咧，就係話咧，呢個能量貼片咧，對於呢幾方面咧，都係有正面嘅幫助嘅。好啦，咁去到一個第16個研究啦。呢個第16研究就講緊關於一個係叫做即係喺我哋嘅生理上面，喺我哋嘅生理上面，Lifewave 嘅能量貼片有啲咩嘅改變咧，令到我哋生物嘅反應。咁佢嘅結論咧就係好簡單，就係話咧，原來透過用咗呢個能量貼片嘅時候咧，令到我哋嗰個能量嘅潛能啊，係可以提升到18至33%嘅。好啦，咁喺最後一個研究報告咧，係講緊關於一個叫灌注嘅測試啦。我估計應該係一種顯影嘅一種測試啦。咁咧，佢個研究報告咧，簡單啲嚟講咧，就係話咧，佢發覺咧，因為呢個係一個叫雙盲嘅測試啦，佢會揾咗一啲人，揾咗兩批人，一批係用呢個真正嘅貼片，另外一批咧用一啲叫做仿嘅貼片，即係冇功效嘅貼片。咁但係當然啦，呢班人係都唔知究竟係用緊真定係假嘅貼片啦。咁發覺咧，用緊呢個假貼片嘅嗰班人咧，佢哋喺第一日同第二日嘅呢個時間中間咧，發覺咧佢哋嘅能量咧係下降嘅，咁但係咧有用緊真正貼片嘅人咧，佢哋嗰個能量水平咧係可以維持嘅。咁所以咧今日好簡單，就同大家去即係高呼咗響能量貼片上面呢10幾份嘅研究報告啦。咁其實當中都係講到就係用咗能量貼片之後，其中可以令到我哋身體嘅能量增加啦，亦都入邊講到就話幫助到我哋嗰個細胞嘅粒線體嘅功能啦，咁亦都可以幫助到我哋提升我哋嘅柔韌度啊、耐力啊等等啦，甚至乎就係改善我哋呢個 HRV 即係嗰個心率嘅平衡啦。咁所以咧，其實整體上咧都係見到咧能量貼片咧對於我哋整體身體健康咧係好有功效嘅。咁亦都包括埋就係可以幫助到我哋嗰個經絡嗰個能量嘅流動啊，即係我哋中醫俗稱嘅叫做氣血啊，嗰個氣血嗰個流動啦。咁所以咧，其實咧，Lifewave呢個第一款研發出嚟嘅能量貼片咧，其實咧好早嘅時間咧，已經係好多唔同嘅世界級嘅運動員咧都有使用嘅。咁其中咧，大家見到咧，熒光幕就係話一個歐洲嘅一個好出名嘅電單車選手啦。咁其實佢攞過好多屆嘅世界錦標賽嘅。咁其實佢喺比賽嘅時候咧，都係有用到能量貼片嘅喎。咁而非常之出名嘅碧咸啦，同埋就係美國嘅泳隊即係攞咗好多金牌嘅菲比斯啦，其實佢哋都係喺比賽嘅時候咧，都有用到 Lifewave 嘅貼片嘅。咁另外咧，喺最近期啱啱上年嘅世界盃咧，咁亦都咧原來咧，我哋見到咧。日本隊喺比賽嘅時候咧，都有好幾位運動員咧，我哋影到咧，佢哋係話原來佢比賽嘅時候咧，都有用緊 Lifewave 嘅貼片嘅喎。咁其中大家見到係佢哋都有用緊能量嘅貼片啦，因為能量貼片真係好易認嘅，因為佢係一對一對咁用噶嘛。咁大家見到喺熒光幕見到啦，就係即係1飛100嘅呢個能量貼片啦。 好啦，咁所以咧，其實喺呢度咧都同大家可以簡單分享一下呢個能量貼片嘅一啲見證分享啦。就單單淨係用咗能量貼片係可以做到一啲明顯嘅功效嘅。咁其中呢一位就係應該喺馬來西亞嘅一位嘅用家啦。咁佢都分享咗佢用咗能量貼片對於佢身體有啲咩嘅改善啦，大家可以聽一聽啦。
我是施图威，今年60岁，来自斯兰曼无忧。那么我很感谢我的朋友介绍我用了这个 X39，还有这个 Energy Enhancer 的这个产品。我一向来是我的腿，尤其是右腿，它因为受伤，运动受伤，所以脚没有力，然后而且它还会就是脚会容易冷，冷的话就如果是坐在风扇底下被风扇这样吹，那脚会冷，所以脚会很不舒服，一定要把那风扇关掉，要不然就要盖被把它盖着它。所以这种情形呢，当我开始这个 X39的时候呢，还有这个ED的时候呢，哇，感觉很不一样。不单是我的腿下腿这个小腿不会再发觉到冷的现象，而且走起路来很舒服，不会再有痛的感觉。所以真的是很感谢这个 Lifewave 所给我们的这个非常棒的产品，感谢公司，感谢 David， 感謝介紹我的朋友，感謝你。
好，咁另外就係一位香港嘅用家啦，阿 Fanky 啦。
我可以分享就係當我去做 paddling 嗰陣時咧，即係去爬嶺嗰陣時咧，考緊賽係咪 ？Yes 比賽。咁我原本之前嘅練習咧，我係可能1分09啦，或者1分10秒嘅。咁當我貼咗 Energy Enhancer 嗰陣時咧，好神奇地咧，我可以創造到咧1分03、1分02。咁係已經快咗好多，因為如果要喺短短1個月之內要秒快咧，係冇可能嘅。於是我就貼咗 Energy Enhancer 喺上臂同埋前臂，咁我個 muscle 咧就非常之有 strength 啦。佢可以咧做到咧，你爆到咧中晒，你都唔會感覺到你有乳酸出現，因為通常大家譬如做跑步或者做weight training 或者當你要去做一啲好 speeding 嘅嘢咧，你可能喺1分鐘或者某個時間啦，好個人而定嘅，你就會感覺到啲肌肉咧好似攰攰地咁樣。之後咧，你自經過1小時時間，你就會再調節咗啦。但係當你貼咗 Energy Enhancer 之後咧，你完全冇咗呢一個乳酸嘅感覺，你會直接飆咗出去，直至到你做完為止。講完。
咁阿 Fanky 都係其中我哋一位都用咗 Lifewave 貼片都好一段時間嘅用家啦。咁其實佢都有好多唔同嘅見證分享啦。咁頭先就係分享到佢自己喺運動上面嘅時候用咗呢個 Energy Enhancer 對佢嚟講嘅好處啦。咁另外啦，呢位嘅會員啊，呢位用家阿 Cat 啊，咁佢都分享咗一個好特別嘅見證啊。咁大家都可以聽一聽。
咧就係隻子宮呢度突咗出嚟，好痛。有啲人咧嚴重到要去做手術噶嘛，有時行路都會痛噶嘛。咁但係個個人都有少少咧，即係除非嗰個係好健康咧，就係直不甩咁樣，唔會扯住嘅。但係我咧就係左腳會扯住多啲，即係右腳正常啲嘅。咁我有個朋友同我講咧，就話其實你唔係做呢度，即係唔係咁處理個腳趾公嗰個位，係處理呢度唔知呢邊定係呢邊。咁所以我有一日咧就貪得意咧，就將能量咧貼咗喺外邊，即係左飛右白咁樣貼咗喺外邊啦。咁我真係覺得咧，即係貼咗
邊一個？
外邊啊！
你遞隻右腳俾我睇。
右腳邊呢個位
哦，即係呢個位。
呢個位啊，呢個窩位
骨下邊。
窩位啊。
呢個窩位。
係啊。
呢個窩位。
呢個窩位咧，其實咧就係掌控你前面。佢話啦係，我記錯，唔知係裏邊定外邊啦。但係 anyway，我就係貼咗外邊啦。咁我發覺咧，我貼咗2日咧，我隻腳趾公嘅左邊腳趾公咧係直啲嘅，直咗咯。
上海交通嘅分交啲嘛？點樣睇下？
冇，其實你冇比較啊嘛。但係我冇乜點樣影時候想，但係我覺得咦睇得喎。
係啦，咁所以咧，阿 Cat 咧又透過用呢個能量貼片啦，咁其實除咗改善咗佢嗰個叫做 拇指啊，即係腳嘅拇指外翻之外咧，其實佢自己對於能量貼片都好中意嘅，咁啊有機會咧可以再揾佢同大家分享下啦。好，咁另外咧，原來咧喺能量貼片上面咧，我哋都可以有一啲嘅測試可以玩嘅喎。我喺網上面咧就揾到幾個嘅測試啊，咁我希望嚟緊都可以同大家去玩下呢個測試，或者大家其實都可以咧透過學習去點樣用呢個測試咧，去令到一啲未用緊貼片嘅人咧，佢去感受到個貼片嘅威力啊，咁大家可以睇一睇啦，以下嘅幾個嘅能量貼片嘅測試啦。
The angle between the arms and the body should be 90 degrees. And now you just push strongly. And the person with
呢個其中大家見到係一個叫平衡力測試啦。咁首先就係嗰個男士未貼呢個能量貼片之前咧，就俾佢感受一下佢可以抵受到嗰個抗阻力啊，或者佢自己嘅平衡力有幾多啦。咁跟住而家咧就幫佢貼咗呢個能量貼片啦，左飛右白咁樣貼喺佢嗰個中府穴上邊啦。咁跟住啦，再俾佢去嘗試啦。咁咧佢就會體驗到咧，佢可以即時即係即時咧係提升咗佢嗰個平衡力嘅。咁跟住呢位女士咧就幫佢咧就將呢個能量貼片咧調翻轉嚟貼咯喎。咁究竟會唔會有同樣嘅功效咧？或者係唔同咗咧？咁咧發覺咧原來就係唔得嘅。所以咧大家要留意翻咧，呢個能量貼片咧，你想要用到真係用到嘅功效咧，留意翻一定係左邊身就貼啡色，右邊身咧就貼白色，係左啡右白咁貼啊。好啦，咁另外一個測試咧就係一個叫伸展力嘅測試啦。咁大家又可以睇睇究竟點樣做呢個測試咯。咁啊有機會都可以同你身邊嘅朋友去試下玩下呢個伸展力嘅測試啊。咁首先就係好簡單，就係未用貼片嘅時候咧，咁叫你嘅朋友首先佢隻腳拍埋啦，咁跟住咧就盡佢能力咧，即係佢隻腳唔好喐啊，當然隻腳唔好喐嘅時候咧，就淨係擰個腰，咁睇下自己可以擰到幾多啦，可以轉到身幾多。咁大家見到個男士有啲攰啊，擰到有啲攰。好啦，咁跟住呢個女士咧就幫佢將個能量貼片貼咗喺佢嘅身上面啦，都係貼咗喺中府穴。記住都係左啡右白啊！咁個男士再試下，佢究竟可以令到幾多？佢發覺佢自己可以嗰個柔韌度啊，唔係應該咁講，個伸展度係提升咗嘅。好啦，跟住又調翻轉啦，調翻轉個貼片啦，佢又發覺，咦，又變翻原本咁樣咯喎。好，咁跟住又再調轉啦。呢個都係一個好有趣嘅測試啊！咁個男士你大家見到佢個樣都覺得哇好神奇啊，好得意啊！點解純粹淨係將個貼片調轉咗去貼，或者係講緊貼咗上身嘅時候咧，佢嗰個伸展力會提升咗啦。好啦，跟住最後一個測試或者個力量測試啦。咁呢個都好簡單去試嘅，大家都可以試下去揾啲屋企人去試下喎，其實。咁啊，去試下呢個力量啊！咁首先就係叫對方盡量去頂住，係啦，用呢個姿勢頂住。咁呢個女士當然唔有個男士去推啦。咁跟住呢個女士咧就將呢個能量貼片咧左啡右白咁樣貼喺佢自己個手上面啦，個手心啊。需唔需要下就其實唔一定嘅，係咁，但係佢發覺一貼咗上去之後咧，佢嗰個力量咧係明顯提升咗嘅。咁嗰個男士想盡量頂佢咧，咦，發覺係唔得嘅。好啦，咁跟住個女士又調翻轉呢個貼片去貼啦。 咁就發覺佢個能量又減少翻啦。所以大家都可以真係去試下啦，呢幾個嘅測試，其實仲有嘅，仲有好多唔同嘅測試嘅，平衡力又好啊，或者係嗰個呢個伸展力啊，咁啊，暫時大家都可以試住呢3個嘅測試先啦。好啦，咁講到呢度咧，咁其實都再同大家重溫一下啦，呢個能量貼片去使用嘅位置啦。咁其實咧喺Lifewave公司嘅官方嘅資訊嚟講咧，總共咧有5個建議嘅位置咧，係大家去使用呢個能量貼片嘅。咁比較多我哋使用嘅就係呢個中府穴啦。咁另外咧，呢個足三里都多我哋去使用嘅。咁另外喺呢個手嘅位置都有2個位置建議啦。咁另外咧，仲有一個應該如果冇記錯叫大溪穴啊，呢個位置喺個左腳同右腳入邊啊，個腳眼嘅後少少嘅位置啊，喺腳同腳內側啊，即係左腳同右腳內側嘅位置。咁其實咧，除咗呢幾個位置可以係去用到呢個能量貼片嘅時候咧，其實咧我哋都仲有2個多使用嘅位置喎。其中一個位置咧就係我哋腰背後邊嘅位置啦。咁其中咧呢個位置咧，我而家都好多時都會用呢個貼喺呢個位置嘅，或者係教人去貼呢個位置。尤其是如果經常嗰個腰部覺得係酸痛啊，或者係嗰個腳部唔夠力嘅話咧，其實都可以貼喺呢個位置度去改善嘅。咁另外咧，如果腎即係想改善我哋腎功能嘅情況咧，或者本身身體係比較有水腫嘅情況咧，其實就可以咧貼喺呢個湧泉穴嘅。咁原來咧阿 David Smith 即係發明呢個能量貼片嘅發明家咧，佢自己都分享過咧，佢自己係都中意貼喺呢個位置嘅喎，呢個湧泉穴嘅喎。同埋咧，佢係講緊咧，佢每一日其實都係貼2對嘅能量貼片嘅，一對係貼喺上半身，另外一對咧就貼喺下半身嘅喎。咁佢發覺咧，咁樣貼法咧，佢整體身體嘅能量係行得最好嘅。好啦，咁喺呢度咧都俾大家睇一睇啦。其實我哋都有好多唔同身體狀況去用唔同貼片去改善嘅一啲貼法啦。咁其中咧都係俾大家睇到一啲關於會配搭到能量貼片嘅一啲貼法，例如水腫我哋可以用 X39加呢個谷胱甘肽加埋能量啦。呢個脫髮問題可以 X39、X49加肌肽加能量啦。咁另外睡眠窒息嘅情況亦都可以配搭呢幾款貼片去使用啦。心律不正嘅話又可以配搭呢幾款貼片使用咧，都係包括到能量貼片嘅。其實能量貼片嗰個應用範疇都好廣泛嘅，尤其是包括如果關於啲心腦血管嘅狀況咧，其實你見到咧都會一定係我哋會建議加埋呢個能量貼片去使用嘅。咁喺呢度咧，我就唔詳細同大家一一去講啦。咁如果大家都想係即係叫全面啲去知道唔同嘅身體狀況可以點樣去配搭唔同嘅貼片去使用咧，大家都可以考慮去買翻本呢個光療貼片嘅使用指南啦。